Hello friends, today we are gathering here for the third session of this webinar series on the topic Preparation for the competitive exam in life science organized by Department of Botany and IQAC. I would also like to introduce today's resource person and also the convener of this 1 week webinar series, Mr. Prashant Deshmukh sir. He is an assistant professor at the Department of Botany in Sri Shivaji College of Art, Commerce and Science, Akola. Sir, sir also cracked so many exams. Sir completed their master's degree in the subject botany. Sir has cracked so many exams like B.Ed, CSIR UGC NET, ICAR ASRB NET, MAH SET, and this is the brief academic information of the Mr. Prashant Deshmukh sir. The PhD thesis is also submitted by Prashant Deshmukh sir, and sir always actively participates in the all the research methods, and they also have published so many research paper in different journals and different conference. And this is the brief uh, introduction about the Mr. Prashant Deshmukh sir. Now I hand over the overall this session to Mr. Prashant Deshmukh sir. Please sir, you can continue.
Hello, good afternoon friend. I am Mr. Prashant Deshmukh, Assistant Professor, Department of Botany, Sri Shivaji College of Art, Commerce and Science, Akola. I welcome all the participants and students on behalf of Department of Botany, Sri Shivaji Science College, Akola, and today's as an guest, I will deliver a sessions on how to crack ICAR NET and ASRB NET examination for the Scientist Recruitment Board. So friends, it's a request to please unmute yourself and please attach your headphone or earphone to your device so that you didn't get any echo or disturbances. So please stay tuned. Okay friends, let's start with our session. So this is what you are seeing the plate, Indian Council of Agriculture Research. So this Indian Council of Agriculture Research, also known as ICAR, is a responsible authority to conduct the NET examinations. Okay, so those students who are belonging to the agricultural background or PG from the agriculture sciences, or even some faculties from the life sciences like botany and biotechnology and parallel branches, they are eligible to and they can give this examination. Okay, so you can simply typing Indian Council of Agriculture Research on Google page, you can directly come on this page. This is the another aspect of our today's session, that is ASRB, that is Agriculture Scientist Recruitment Board. So this ASRB Recruitment Board always run a drive which is not a regular after year, it is comes after 2 year or 3 year, and that drive is basically for the recruitment of scientists. So in order to apply for that scientist recruitment examination, these ICAR and ASRB, they combinedly take a preliminary examination. So that's why you can jointly apply. So once you apply for both the options, so you will at the same time qualify the ICAR net examination as well as the prelim for the ASRB. So why we do this? Why it is necessary to qualify ASRB net or ICR net? So first of all, friends, it is very easy examinations to crack. So if you are planning to go for assistant professorship or in a research field, so this might be a first priority or it must be a first priority of a student, so that because it can, you can qualify it very easily if you take necessary effort. Okay, and so this is the benefit. If you qualify these examinations, so you can work as a scientist through this agricultural scientist recruitment board drive, or even if you qualify the net examination conducted by ACAR agricultural uh, i- uh, ACAR, so you can eligible for the lecturership in agriculture university as well as in the another degree colleges. So this is the benefit. Okay, so what is the age limit and number of attempts criteria for uh, ACAR net examination or agricultural scientist recruitment board examination? So as far as Indian Council of Agriculture research net exam, a candidate must have to attend the age of 20 first year. So this is the minimum age qualification as on the date of notification. So it is wrongly written here as a 2017 because the information is taken from the notification of 2017. So however, there is no upper age limit for the national eligibility test. But as far as ASRB or ARS examination, so candidate must have to attend the age of 21st year and not exceed than the 32 years as on the date of advertisement. So age relaxation is admissible according to the category, so that we will comes later. Then number of attempts, so there is no restriction of number of attempts for appearing in the national eligibility test, that is Indian Council of Agriculture Research. You can give it at any time. However, as far as scientist recruitment drive is the concern, or ASRB net is concerned, so the 6 year age limit, 6 number of attempts for the unreserved category, then 9 number of attempts for the backward category, OBC category, and no attempt limitation for SC and ST candidate. Then which type of attempts are counting for the examinations? So as far as ASRB exam is concerned, so an attempt at a preliminary examination shall be deemed to an attempt at the examination. Okay, and even though a disqualification or cancellation of the candidature at the time of examination can consider as a your attempt. Even though this is again very important, if you have already qualified ARS examinations in earlier year from a particular discipline, then you are not eligible to go with the same discipline for the next year. You have to, if you have to willing to give the exam, you have to opt a different disciplines, then and only then you will be a eligible one. Then these are the revised discipline and code of the NET and ARS examination. So these are the various disciplines through which you can opt or you can go for this examination. Okay, so there are 20, there are 57 disciplines. So here the discipline in which the life science students or botany students can go, so these are shown here in a bold form. Okay, agricultural biotechnology, economic botany and plant genetic resources, plant pathology and plant physiology. So plant agriculture biotechnology is a disciplines where all the streams of life sciences, agriculture sciences are mostly eligible, and that's why we will focus on this agricultural biotechnology today. Then strategy for the selection of discipline. Okay, so as far as strategies for the selection of discipline is concerned, so it, you can decide it on the basis of what syllabus is present in that discipline. Okay, so if you have to go for agricultural biotechnology, if you have to choose the agricultural biotechnology disciplines, so you must be a well aware and you must be a well connected with the fundamentals of molecular biology, cell biology and biotechnology. If you have to go with economic botany and plant genetic resources, then you must be thorough in ecology, molecular biology and biotechnology. If you have to opt through plant pathology, you must be a well versed in mycology as well as basic microbiology. And if you have to go with plant physiology, then you must know all the aspect of physiology. So what that factor which will decide the discipline selection as a part of strategy. So this is what I have written here. Note, please refer the notification, find out the discipline through which you are eligible to apply, and then if you have a choice to select the discipline, then strictly follow the basic rule. And what that basic rule? Discipline selection is directly proportional to the subject commands for a particular subject. So if you are having a choice for the discipline selection, so go in the syllabus of that discipline, match with the syllabus content with your fundamentals, whether you are okay with that or not. And then if you are very versed with the fundamental of that syllabus of the concerned discipline, then go for that selection of that discipline. That will of course increase your result. So this is again the same. So this is how already given a notification for all the 57 disciplines. So what eligibility qualification is required for going for a particular discipline. So today we will explain, we will focus on agriculture biotechnology, because most of the discipline, most of the PG students are eligible to go through or go to select this agriculture biotechnology. So this is the eligibility qualifications. So all the life science students is then the master degree in agriculture biotechnology, molecular biology and biotechnology, genetic engineering, botany, plant sciences, life sciences, plant physiology with specialization in plant biotechnology. So this is the syllabus. The syllabus is already given on a website page. So I am just showing you the outline of the syllabus. So this is the first unit, that is consisting of cell biology. Then biomolecules and metabolism basically include the parts of physiology. Okay, so while then enzymology is there, enzyme kinetics you have to need to study. Then molecular genetics, all the aspects of molecular biology. Then gene expressions again comes from the combination of molecular biology and genetics. Then molecular biology techniques, basis techniques in molecular biology. Gene cloning, which is the application parts of genetics. Then a direct unit from the molecular biology, including a central dogma process and modification process. Then plant molecular biology, then tissue culture. Okay, and finally plant genetic engineering, molecular markers and genomics. So I will comes later how you become a good very selective while selecting this unit for the examinations. Okay, so examination details we will study in a next lecture. Okay, so examination details. So these are the details of Indian Council of Agriculture Research NET examination, along with the prelims of ASRB, which are the same exam. When the notification comes jointly for the Scientist Recruitment Board as well as the ICAR NET. Okay, so notification date. So approximately notification comes in the in between the March to April, or in between the August to September. So as the exam is occurred twicely, ICR NET exam is occurred twicely in a year. However, ASRB NET examinations occur according to the vacancy generated. So it might be a after 2 years regularly, or without any regularity. Then time for submission. So almost from the date of notification, you are allotted a 30 days time span for the submission. The exam is totally a MCQ, multiple choice question base, where you have to select only one options out of the four given. And the mode of examination is online, computer based exam is there. The total 150 questions are there, and every question is having a 1 mark. So in this way the total paper is of 150 marks, and you are allotted a 2 hours duration, that is 120 minutes duration. And the qualifying criteria is always fixed. So that is the different, this is the different thing which make this exam differ from the remaining exam. Here the qualifying criteria is already fixed, so that's why this increase our chance to qualify. So there is no any cutoff strategy for this examination. So if you are belongs to unreserved category, you have to score 50%, means total 75 marks. If you are belongs to OBC category, you have to score 45%, that is 67.5 marks. And if you are belong to ST and SC category, you have to score 40%, that is 60 marks. And the result will declare after approximately 90 days or 95 days after the occurrence of the examination. So once you qualify for the agricultural, that is the ICAR NET, you are eligible for the lecturership. But if you at the same time qualify for the agriculture scientist recruitment board preliminary examination, then you have to go for the main examination. So which factor decide the prelim qualification for the scientist recruitment? So there is a ratio of 1 is to 15 with respect to vacancy and the categories of the post. Okay, so if there are 100 vacancies, then there are a selection of 100 and 1500 candidate for the uh, main examination. So this is the ratio 1 is to 15. Okay, so once you qualify the preliminary examinations, either in terms of ICAR net or which is also called as ASRB net, then the main examination is occur after 5 to 6 months from the results from the notification of the preliminary examination. So almost you will given a 20-day span after the results of preliminary examination in order to apply for the main. Now the nature of the exam, it is totally a descriptive exam. It is conducted by offline mode, and this is the mark distribution. So the paper is divided into three parts. Part A, which is of 40 questions having 80 marks, then part B, which is of 20 questions having 100 marks, and part C, which is having a 6 questions having 60 marks. Okay, so whatever the brackets are given, these are the marks allotted to each question. So the total paper is of 180 minutes, and the result will declare according to 1 is to 5 ratio with respect to vacancy. Okay, and after you qualify that, you will call for the Viva voice, which is of 60 mark. Okay, so you have to go through these details, how you have to write the descriptive answer for that question. So part A will consist of 40 questions of 2 marks each, and that's why it makes a part A total of 80 marks. And how you have to write this answer must be a very short, not exceeding than more than 10 words. Part B will be of 20 questions of 5 marks each and requiring 1 or 2 paragraph or graphical explanation. Part C will have 6 essay type question or descriptive questions where you have to write a descriptive answers, and all these parts are compulsory. Okay, okay, this is again the same page as what I already explained you. Then what Viva is basically consist of. So as far as once you qualify the main examination for the scientist recruitment board conducted by ASRB, so they take a Viva voice. And why this Viva they take? They basically assess the candidate suitability for the service for which he or she has completed, then testing the general and specialized knowledge and ability of the candidate, then his or her modern current of thought, then also assessing the candidate mental quality and his or her grasp on a problem. Okay, so board conducted the Viva just to analyze all these characteristics or the properties of the particular candidate. Then the board also pay a special attentions in the Viva on intellectual curiosity, critical power of assimilation, balance of judgment, and alertness of mind, the ability for several cohesion, integrity of the character, initiative and capacity for leadership and scientific research. Then important units and topics. So students, out of the 12 topics, so it's my personal opinion, so whenever you whenever you select the agricultural biotechnology discipline, so please focus on this topic which I will told you now. So friends, out of the 12 topic, you no need to prepare all this topic, just go for the selection of 8 topic, go thoroughly through that, and in that 8 topic, how you can choose, so please choose only those topics which are having a content relationship. So which is you can show in this plate. So molecular genetics, so these 4 topics: molecular genetics, gene expression, molecular biology, and gene cloning, along with a special unit of molecular biology, all they are related with one another, so concepts are interdependent. That's why this will benefit you. So this will minimize the scope of the question setter and maximize your scope to answer as the concepts are laying. So once you select this five topic, then go for the selection of tissue culture. So the tissue culture unit is very easy for the preparation, and the questions can be directly asked. So you can clearly answer the question, as it is very easy for the preparations, and it will minimize your negative marking. Then as far as selection with the another topic also, so please go with the cell biology topic, so which we are learning from the graduation, so that's why this will can increase your marks. And along with that, this is the very specific one, that is enzymology. So if you prepare enzymology very well, then you can score all the questions and increase your score there. So also go for the preparation of these eight topic very properly, very thoroughly, so that there is no any chance for the negative marking, or minimum as per as possible as minimum marking here. So along with that, you need to a final push up for the qualify, and that's why in order to do so, please keep two additional topic in a stepney mode or in a background. So plant, you can select plant genetic engineering, just to keep a recent updates or development of that topic, though you not go thoroughly with the content, just keep recent developments of that topic. So mostly questions are asked on a recent development or application in a daily life from this topic. And along with that, you can go for molecular biology and metabolism unit, and for that please refer 11th and 12th NCERT books of biology. So in this way, by planning your syllabus, you can clearly maximize your chances to qualify the exam. Now, strategy how to qualify this exam, so that we will discuss in a next video. So please stay tuned. Okay friends, so how to prepare for these examinations? So very first thing that you have to do, that is make your fundamental very clear. Unless and until your fundamental is not clear, you cannot go for reading a higher content for that examinations. The second, and in order to make a fundamental clear, you can refer the NCERT books along with the state board book also, and books like which you refer in a graduation for a particular subject. Then once you make your fundamental clear, then go for a reference book. So as I have already told you that we have to prepare five topics from the molecular biology and genetics, so please go for any good reference book from the molecular biology in detail, which will enhance your score. Then as far as for cell biology and enzymology, you have to also prepare and go for a good books which you use for your graduation level. Then this is very important, the fourth step, select and solve only sure question paper. So while uh, every one of you know that 150 questions are there, so please while selecting the questions, so read all the questions. Those questions you think it is a sure one, you can answer it surely, please only attempt that question. And those who are feeling a little difficult, please keep it for a particular interval for for that time, and then once you go for all the 150 questions, then come back to rethink over that questions. Okay, so in this way, only select those questions for which you have prepared very well, and then go for the difficult one. Then this is very important, which will make a difference between failure and the successful student. So solve only 20% more questions than the passing percentage. So friends, if you are belonging to open category, so you every one of you know that you have to qualify more, you have to secure marks equals to 50% or more than 50%. It means that you have to answer 75 questions rightly uh, um, out of 150 questions. Okay, so if you only solve 75 questions or 80 questions, there is a probability that at least 5 to 10 question is get wrong, and this will minimize your marks and ultimately keep you slightly away from, or on the boundary of the qualifying mark. And that's why if you solve more question, means up to a 20% more question, so that will benefit you to comes in a passing criteria. So how it will benefit you? Suppose your passing criteria is 50%, means you have to secure a 75 right answer, and if you solve 20 more question, means 20% more questions means you are going to solve mm, nearly 30 questions more. So if you solve 30 questions more, and out of that if you are getting only 20 questions right, so or 15 questions right, so as the 15 questions are right, you will get a 15 marks, but as the remaining 15s are wrong, then 5 marks deduction will occur from that. So in this way 15 minus 5, so finally by solving 20% more question means 30 question, you will get 10 marks additional. So in this way, so this will enhance your um, passing criteria. So 7 out of the 75 question you have attempted very correctly, so in that also you will make, or you will get 6 to 7 questions or 10 questions wrong, which will reduce your 3 to 4 marks. And solving this 20% more questions will ultimately add your 10 marks as we have calculated, and this will keep you in a success boundary, or make you success. So this is what I have already told you. Okay, so as far as main exam is concerned, because I have already explained the strategies for the preliminary examination, so please prepare for the point wise note while studying. Always practice to write short descriptions about the key topics, and prepare well for the interview while going for the scientist selection board. So these are the reference books through which you can go for: Molecular Biology by Lodish, Principle of Gene Manipulation and Genome by Primrose and Taiman. Then this is the basic book for the agricultural biotechnology. Then you have to go for the you for clearing your fundamentals by NCERT books along with the state book. And this is one additional agriculture biotechnology by Rahul Singh Rajput. So if you go through all these books, then surely you will qualify this examination. So I am very much thankful to all the participants, students, and the organizer to give me this opportunity and platform to share my view to the student. Thank you. Thanks again. If you have any query, you can ask me on our Telegram group or in a chat box. So thank you. Thanks again.
Thank you, sir. I am very happy to say thank you to Mr. Prashant Deshmukh sir for their valuable lecture. Sir, your presentation was so nice. I hope that may also provided the detailed information about the ICR net, also known as the AgriNet. I am also thankful to all the participants for their attention and the valuable presence. I am also grateful of Dr. P.P. Umade ma'am, head of the Department of Botany and also the convener of this webinar series. I am also thankful to Dr. Koche sir, Dr. V.S. Patil ma'am and all my colleagues. I am again say thank you. On the permission of Dr. P.P. Umade ma'am, I conclude this webinar. Thank you. Thank you so much.